In the past few days, there has been a lot of confusion over how the CBSE and ICSE Class 12 as standard students will be assessed by their respective boards. Let's figure out how all this started in the Supreme Court of India and what was the conclusive order of the top court today. So, the Class 12 exams by CBSE and ICSE were cancelled last year too due to the COVID-19 first wave of the pandemic. The marks were given on the basis of the exams that had been already conducted. This year, after the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic swept the nation away, so the case journey began on May 15th, 2021, when Advocate Mamta Sharma, a Delhi-based lawyer, had approached the Supreme Court seeking to cancel the Class 12 exams of CBSE and ICSE. The two most important grounds taken by Advocate Sharma was that holding exams during COVID-19 pandemic was violative of Article 21, that's right to health, of the students appearing in this examination, and that it was arbitrary since the Class 10 exams of both CBSE and ICSE was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So on May 28, 2021, the Supreme Court of India bench of Justices A.M. Khanwilkar and Dinesh Maheshwari held the first hearing in this case. The bench told Attorney General for India, K.K. Venugopal, appearing for the central government, that if there was a departure in CBSE's policy in conduct of the examination as compared to the 2020 policy, then there should be a valid justification as to why the CBSE is departing from its previous stand. On June 1st, 2021, the Central Board of Secondary Education cancelled Class 12 board exams. The decision was taken after a meeting was held chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. ICSE too followed suit and cancelled the Class 12 exams for 2021. Well, now comes the crucial part. CBSE and ICSE on June 17th laid out the schemes that would be put in place for assessing the marks of the students of Class 12. So to simplify, for CBSE Class 12 exams, the marks would be tabulated in a way 30% from Class 10th, 30% from Class 11th, and 40% from Class 12. But what is the breakup of these particular percentages? For Class 12, performance of students in each subject in either one or more unit tests, midterm, or pre-board theory exams. This will be left to the discretion of the results committee to be constituted in each school, comprising the school principal, two senior-most teachers of the school,
and two teachers teaching class 12 at a neighboring school.
For Class 11, computation will be based on the marks in the respective subjects from the year-end final theory exams that the students wrote in 2019-2020. For Class 10, average of the theory marks of the three main subjects in which a student performed best in their Class 10 board examinations will be computed. This average will be uniformly awarded to all the Class 12 subjects based on theory weightage of each subject. Students who are not satisfied by this internal assessment done by the CBSE, they can opt to appear for a physical examination that is supposed to be conducted anytime between August to September, depending on how the situation is conducive for such an examination. To ensure standardization, each school will have to internally moderate the marks to account for school level variations in the following way. The school's historical performance in board exams over the last 3 years would be taken into account, and the year with the best performance in boards would be taken as the benchmark. For instance, let's assume that a school's performance in the board exams was 80% in 2017 to 18, 90% in 2018 to 19, 85% from 2019 to 20, and then the school will use 2018 to 19 as a reference point for moderation. ICSE, on the other hand, informed the Supreme Court that it will take an average of the last 6 years to compute the marks of the 12th standard examination. On June 19, 2021, about 1,152 private, compartment and Patrachar students of the CBSE board moved the Supreme Court against the CBSE's policy of holding a physical examination for these students from August to September during the COVID-19 pandemic. The primary contention of these students were they should be treated at par with the regular students and should be included in the regular policy of the CBSE's internal assessment. On June 20, a parents' association body represented by a senior advocate Vikas Singh in the Supreme Court, named as Uttar Pradesh a parents' body, moved the Supreme Court challenging the CBSE assessment policy primarily on the ground that linking the performance of the present batch of the 12th standard students with that of the previous batch or the former students who passed out from the school was wholly arbitrary and cannot be legally sustained. The association also urged for directions from the court that an option for the students to appear in either physical examinations or be assessed internally be given at the very threshold, and this option should be given to both student and schools. Meanwhile, CBSE on June 21st informed the Supreme Court that a dispute resolution mechanism was put in place to address the grievances of the students arising out of the results which were declared by the CBSE. It also informed that the results would be declared for all the students by July 31st and that an optional exam would be held between August 15 to September 15. A similar timeline was also provided for the examination of the compartment students and that their exams too will be conducted between August 15 to September 15, depending on how conducive the situation is. Well, in all of this, another plea which sought to be mentioned in the Supreme Court by senior advocate Vikas Singh was by a teacher named Anshul Gupta. The teacher had challenged the CBSE's policy of cancelling the examination. In fact, the plea also challenged the ICSE's policy of cancelling the examination, arguing that if IIT, JEE, CLAT, NDA examinations and other competitive examinations can be held in a physical mode, then why is this luxury being given to the class 12 students? The top court said that it will indeed hear the petition, and this particular petition was heard today. So finally, today on June 22, 2021, the Supreme Court bench of Justices A.M. Khanwilkar and Dinesh Maheshwari upheld the schemes of assessment propounded by CBSE and ICSE. The top court also recognized that the two schemes were different since both the bodies were independent and autonomous. Supreme Court held that giving students the option to choose from internal assessment and physical exams will deprive them the option to improve their marks by a later exam. The petition by the teacher Anshul Gupta was also dismissed by the Supreme Court, stating that the CBSE and ICSE decision was taken by a body of experts, and the experts group contained about 13 experts who had taken a joint call on the policy decision of the CBSE and also ICSE, and that it was in the larger public interest. Supreme Court has also lastly noted that the compartment patrachar or private students will also appear in their respective examinations from August 15 to September 15, depending on how conducive the situation is, and the results would be declared at the earliest. So if in a line, a bar and bench has to summarize what happens to the CBSE and ICSE exams, it is this. CBSE and ICSE Class 12 exams stands cancelled. The students who wish to improve upon their marks can appear for an improvement exam which will be held anytime between August to September. And lastly, compartment students have not been included in the assessment policy for the regular students. For them, the CBSE's policy of having a physical examinations from August 15 to September 15 remains and has not been interfered with. In all, the CBSE and ICSE policies of examination conducted for Class 12 has been upheld.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon.